So, did everybody survive the Glockalypse that happened this past week when Glock introduced the Glock 45 onto the world? Did everyone survive that? I did. We're going to go real quick and try to go pretty fast through this Glock 45 and show you guys all the new features, changed features, tweaked features, and things like that as quickly as we can. Of course, we're in Louisiana as always. It's something with the weather out here. It's raining now. Last time it was love bugs, today it's mosquitoes. We got bugs, right? According to the Glock case that the Glock 45 comes in, this is a Gen 5. Again, according to Glock. I beg to differ. There are a lot of things that the Gen 5 Glock had that the Glock 45 also has, but there are things that it's not. I actually call this a Gen 6 Glock, which is what Glock probably should have called it. Let me explain. You'll notice that the Glock 45 has the flared mag well of the Gen 5 Glocks. You'll also notice it has the same style texturing on it, and you'll also notice that the slide has the same finish and it has that same marksman barrel that the Gen 5 Glocks had. Oh, and the no finger grips in the front, right? That's kind of where the similarities stop. All the other features are pretty common and standard on Glocks anyway. Your plastic sights that everybody seems to hate. You can get this Glock 45 in the, I believe it's the Ameriglow sights. We actually have them on one of our other versions, Gen 5, Gen 5 Glock 17. You'll see the Ameriglow sights on there. Those are also available on this 45. So why do I think this is more of a Gen 6 than it is a Gen 5? Let me explain. The automatic finger pinch mechanism that was in the front of the entry point of the mag well on the Gen 5s is missing now. That half moon is not there. Apparently Glock does listen, because a lot of people complain that Glock never listens. It seems like they may have listened this time, because all the people complain that they're pinching their finger, which, for full disclosure, I never pinch my finger. I don't understand what the problem was. I like the fact that was there to pull out a damaged magazine if you had one, but people apparently were pinching their finger. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. That's gone, okay? So they corrected that. Also, the most obvious thing, the slide serrations. Okay, that's a big change. That is for Glock. That's a big change for Glock. Glock's never even entertained doing that before. It was like they never wanted to hear everybody complaining, who continuously complained that they needed front side slide serrations. So now they've got front slide serrations. That's a huge thing, all right? That would have been worthy of a new generation of Glocks, right? I mean, I could see them having a Gen 6, and oh, guess what the new Gen 6s have? Just like they had the old finger grooves. Now we got slide serrations on the new Gen 6 models, okay? What else? All right, you also have the frame and slide contouring, the blending of the two. Again, back whenever the Gen 5 was released, you'll remember that they tapered the front of the slide. Everybody complained, including me, because I thought it was ugly, careless, and lazy. No one contoured the frame to match that. My thing was, did the engineers on the slide never talk to the engineers that make the frame itself and say, hey guys, we're doing this, you might want to do this too? So that was real lazy of them. They fixed that on the Gen 6 Glock 45. So those are things that I think those are some pretty major things. The little half moon cutout, I probably wouldn't have noticed if somebody hadn't said anything. But between the slide serrations and blending that, the gun has a brand new look to it. So this is just kind of like an evolution that kept going. Again, I think Glock could have made this a Gen 6. Maybe it was too soon for them, because if you'll remember, the 19X, which is essentially what this is modeled after, was made for that MHS program for the military, and then law enforcement decided they want it, so Glock made this. So rather than sit on this and hold on to this design, this not frame texturing, the slide serrations and all that, I guess they decided to dump all that into that newer model that they were putting out for law enforcement. One more thing that people talk about, this is a Gen 5 19X, and it's really not. And just for the sake of disclosure, I had these fiber optic sights put on here, so these are not stock, they do not come on here. But the Gen 5, the 19X has its lanyard loop, and that's the peanut butter color, of course. So yes, while this is a lot like the 19X, because we do have a combination of the 17 frame and the 19 slide, that's kind of where those similarities end also, because this is more like, it's really taken a lot from the Gen 5s and the 19X, combining them, and again, moving on and making more of a Gen 6 19X is what it could have been, or 19XS, everybody says. One of the things that people have talked about is, why is it a Glock 45 And Glock has come out and said that, look, we have patents for these, and whatever patent number is next in line for the type of gun that we're making, if a patent number is going to apply to a particular gun, then that's what we named that. And the patent number that came up next was 45, so that's why they named it the Glock 45. So no real trickeration going on right there. It's probably a little unfortunate that the 45, finally getting up to that number, is not an actual 45. That would have actually probably tricked and surprised more people if Glock would have actually released the Glock 45 in 45 ACP. People would have been, okay, Glock, I got you now. Because Glock would have actually kind of had the last laugh, because finally they would have had a number match up with a caliber. So I guess we're going to have to wait until the 44. I'm sorry, not the 44, the 50. The 50. That's what I'm thinking. Are they going to make a Glock 50 and it's going to be 50 caliber? They make Glock 50 caliber conversion kits, so hold on, that may be coming actually. The 45 comes with its normal Glock case. This one's black, not peanut butter like the 19X was. It's going to come with 3 magazines, your bore brush. It's got all these back straps on here that you're going to be able to change. It's got the 2 on here that have the actual beaver tail on there, and the 2 that don't. You know, guys, the thing that I like about the 19X is the very fact that, again, this larger frame with the shorter slide, to me, gives it more of a balance. I mean, I've just got 2 fingers on it right there, and the thing just seems to balance in your hand. It's not front heavy because the slide's not so long, but it doesn't also feel like you can't control the gun. It doesn't seem like the grip is too small for the slide. I know a lot of people are wanting that various combination to the total opposite of this, where you're actually going to use your 17 slide with the 19 frame. That might be cool for concealing purposes, because you're going to be able to conceal the butt of your gun a little bit better than this 17 frame. But we're splitting hairs at that point. To me, as far as shootability, this one, the 19X and the 45, and I'll shoot the 19X real quick to show you what I'm talking about. It's just got, to me, so much more balance. I feel like I'm able to control it more. Let's shoot the 45 now. I want to show you. This is first shots with it. I've never shot this. Oh, and let me do the reach around with the new slide serrations. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I'm able to do the reach around, and look. I never do that. The slide serrations, honestly, guys, I'm going to be straight with you. That's more for looks for me. I don't do the reach around. I don't do press checks. It's just not my thing. When I shoot USPSA, I will, but I'm not shooting a Glock when I shoot it, you know, and I can do a press check just fine from behind. So these terms do not sound good from a guy on a gun range. So anyway, let's shoot this thing and see how it feels. I'm sure it's going to feel just like that 19. Man, I had fun with this Glock 45. Fun gun to shoot. It's like the 19X, man. It's, as far as balance goes, fits right. It works in the hand. I think it's done well. Glock should have probably done this a long time ago, but you know, who knows? And I'm not here to judge them. As many Glocks as I do have, I don't think I'm on Glock's short list as far as guns to be sent out for testing. I say that sarcastically because I'm definitely not on it. That may have a little bit to do with the fact that I don't stroke Glock every time they put a new gun out. You know, I may have said some things that weren't flattering to Glock. Not dogging them, but just wondering why they did certain things, like the Gen 5. I thought there was a lot of things that they could have done differently and better with the Gen 5. However, this Glock 45, it's nice, man. It's fun to shoot. It feels good. Again, I don't toot Glock's horn a lot, but I think this 45, they have finally, with some of the minor improvements they did do that I liked about the Gen 5, I like the texturing, very nice texturing. That slide finish, impeccable. It looks good, it feels good, it's very durable. They carry that over to the 45 also. They add slide serrations to it. They got rid of the screw up on the 19X with the magazines. That was really stupid how they made that magwell interact with the magazines to where you could only use 19X magazines with it. That was really stupid. You know, again, that's why Glock doesn't send me stuff because I don't candy coat it. But the 45 They fixed everything that was wrong with the 19X, and they fixed everything that was wrong with the Gen 5s. You know, why go halfway? It's like they ran a 100-yard dash on the Gen 5s and the 19X. It's like they ran a 100-yard dash and they walked the last yard. You know, why do you run 99 yards and walk the last yard? They ran the full 100 yards on the Glock 45. They really did. Nice gun. I'd really like to see them take that whole Gen 6 ability and apply it to some of their other calibers. It'd be really nice. I'd really like to see it, some of their, even the subcompact models. I'm not talking about the frame and a slide combination. I'm talking about all the other little things that they did that made this thing nice, including the slide serrations. If you get a chance, man, put your hands on one of these. I think you're gonna agree with me that Glock finally got it right, and I don't have any negatives. Literally, I have no negatives for the Glock 45. To me, it's all thumbs up for me. All right, guys, in my don't try this at home segment, this is probably not recommended by Glock, but check this out. We want to be talking about the fact that these guns are the 19X and the 45, that they're very similar. Let me show you something. 45 slide on 19X. Hey Glock, is this coming out in January? SHOT Show, the 19X 45.